Error is on Panasonic.
They overthink it very quick.
In 99% or even more, it's not about the product.
What are the true benefits of a system?
Welcome to the UK series. Hello and welcome to part of our UK series videos. My name is Mario Dodic. I'm heat pump trainer and founder of HVAC Education Hub, where we talk about heat pumps. Today we will have discussion with Paul Aitchison. He's the head of product design in Panasonic for commercial and residential air conditioning, and with Nathan, key account manager for Panasonic. I've been working for Panasonic for quite a lot of time, and today our main topic will be training, education, and all different kind of things what we need to understand in our industry. Paul, we're chatting a lot how Panasonic portfolio and how all portfolio is changing. A lot of products, a lot of things. How are you catching up with that yourself and your installer base, your guys? How you see the industry from that perspective?
I think one of the key points is that I've been lucky enough to have certain people around me that have been able to provide a lot of, let's say, baseline knowledge. They've given me the grounding and understanding of some key principles about the technology, so that when we've introduced a new product, it's enabled me to have a look at what's involved in that product and then say to myself, right, okay, is this falling into a specific category? Is this following air to water? Is this air to air? How is this kind of working? So I think the important thing is, as long as you've got the right grounding, then a lot of the products do not become quite as scary as they may seem at the beginning.
Nathan, what is your experience from this market, from UK market? You are in contact with installers, with service technicians, with customers. Customers today are really very good educated, so they are asking a lot of questions. You have a lot of products. How are you balancing all of this and with trainings with installers and everything else?
To be fair, it's a really good question, because the main thing we're seeing, especially in the UK market right now, is yes, air source heat pumps are having a massive rise in the market, but education is here, but we need a lot more education coming in. That's when we've got the training centres dotted around the UK. We've got one, of course, in Welwyn Garden City in the office. We just opened one up in the Cardiff factory, as well in Livingston in Scotland. But what we actually need to start realising and start doing a bit more is a bit more online content. And me personally, in the new build market, is educating these installers on site, because a lot of them are used to just installing a gas boiler. They've been doing it for the past 10, 15 years. And even though switching to a heat pump, especially the monoblock version, it's not too much differences for them. It's still a flow and return pipe in and out. What we see is they overthink it very quick. And that's where we can sit down, go around the table, walk around the system and go, actually, if you take one step back and look at this, it's actually not as scary as you think. But even from that side of it, it's not just about the installers, it's passing the training over to the homeowners as well. The homeowners with the gas boilers, we're used to turning the heating on and off, on and off. Whereas for a heat pump, you just want that nice, constant, steady heat. So it's making sure the installer's got the knowledge to install and commission the units correctly, as well as the homeowners, once they move into a property, to ensure they know how to fully use it to avoid any costs rising regarding the heating system as well.
Paul, you mentioned that how this groundwork is important. I've been lucky enough to work with you and learned a lot from you and from your approach. This is how I entered this educational business, because it's really something rewarding where you share your experience, where you help others. And this is what we are now trying to build up, platform to build up all of this base knowledge. What I think is not missing. There are huge numbers, so I think 300,000 engineers missing in Europe for upscaling. How can you see this collaboration, because Panasonic has really good trainings and really good training centers, but it's only from manufacturer perspective. Not only, but there are a lot of other things, pumps, valves, refrigerant, platforms like ours, someone is writing a book, someone has some other center. How can you see this collaboration with knowledge sharing and with training our industry colleagues and professionals?
I think you've kind of hit the nail on the head, is that we as a manufacturer, our responsibility is to ensure that we are providing information about our products. So it's not always so simple for us within our training to cover everything that is necessary when, and Nathan mentioned it before, either for the end user or for the installer, because we are not responsible for the installation as a whole. All we can do is provide some advice and guidance. That's why it's so important that we have some additional partners that we can work with, like yourselves, to try and enlighten others on what heat pumps can achieve with the correct application. And that doesn't mean that there is one, let's say, solution fits all. It's about understanding the principles, what effect these things have. Like you were saying, the pumps, the valves, the sizing of a tank, the buffer, the sizing of the pipework, all of this stuff, if the installer has a better and more comfortable approach to dealing with that, then they will have no issues with the installation, and then they can ensure that whatever product they're buying, particularly if it's Panasonic, then they are getting the most out of it.
Yes, you both mentioned this, let's say, from manufacturer perspective, but what I also struggled when I was in Panasonic, that you need to give an answer and you need to find a solution. In 99% or even more, it's not about the product, but you need, and let's say, sales guys, design guys, you need to know everything. Just because error is on Panasonic, it's not error on the installer part. What is also, I think, important, as you mentioned, that responsibility is also on installers and on end users. And what I can say from first hand, that people think that, okay, manufacturer is someone somewhere. People like you and me. So we are doing all of this work and we are helping each other every day and trying to learn from mistakes at the end. Nathan, what is your experience from, let's say, from UK market, installers, end users, regarding your products? So you have really different kind of products. Yeah. You are present here on the market. How are you catching up with this, with updates? You have strong installer network, I assume, and you are in contact with your guys.
That's exactly it. So we've got a strong network of pro installers in the UK now. And the key thing is keeping them constantly up to date for the new project ranges we've got. We've got the M generation real behind me right here now. We've got the new rack solo systems. And it's actually how can we get that comms out as soon as it does get released to market. A few different ways. One, exhibitions exactly like this. We can get all the engineers on stand, showing the products firsthand. This is how you use them, this is how you install them. And that starts getting their baseline knowledge from there. From that point, it's then going back out, encouraging them to come back on one of our training courses. Then you can see the new improvements, learn about the new ranges, and slight differences on the installations from that point. But even when you do start moving away from that, I think it's us that's a responsibility. It's actually going out to see them, seeing them on jobs, seeing them on the installs. Because when we're doing this, yes, we're seeing our product ranges and how to install it, but we can also identify the issues that may come across and actually where they might not be going quite right, and we can offer the advice on how to rectify their installations from there. So I think it's coming at it from a few different angles. It's about being present, both digitally, in person, and actually giving them the time of day, going out to see them on site to make sure they're happy with the installation, especially when they're carrying out the first one as well.
At the end, Paul, one message for our listeners. A lot of engineers and users are listening. What will be the key message for everyone who wants to enter our industry? Because it's really interesting. You mentioned a lot of different products, but if you learn the basics, it's not quite hard. You can learn things if you are willing to learn. What would be your advice to someone, let's say, who wants to enter the industry, but maybe it's not so comfortable to work with all of these things?
I would say, first off, have a look on the internet. Begin to try and familiarize yourself with some, let's say, examples, some content, some principles, just so that when you're actually speaking to a manufacturer, you're speaking to an installer, or it could even be you as an installer speaking to an end user, that you just have some grounding ideas of what is important, what do you need to consider, and what are the true benefits of a system, so that when you are advising somebody, they feel a bit more comfortable when they've walked away that what they're walking into, what they're looking to install is the right solution for them.
I think good message for the end of our conversation. Thank you for really good talk, and thank you to having me here. Thank you to everyone for watching this, and check our other videos on the channel. See you.